Hello everyone, welcome to my Dragonbane solo campaign. I think we're still session 5. We're working our way through this dungeon gloriously. Let's see, we're picking up kind of right where we left off. I think Izzek bailed out of this room right here that had the vampire bats in it and the ancient resource that was an orb that he hasn't opened up and checked out yet, but he didn't have much time. Those bats were still up in the rafters. He bailed out of there quick in case they decided to attack again. Turns the corner here, gets to here, he's facing another hallway. Well, let's say, we're about halfway through this, believe it or not. 1, 2, I skipped these 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 rooms, kind of a 12-room dungeon. We're kind of halfway. As Izzek turns this corner here, it's this hallway. He's at upper level now. It's kind of out of the caves. He's kind of climbed up this long flight of stairs. His tracks are the only tracks here in the hallway that's old and covered in dust and grime. He's not sure what to make of everything so far. This place has been clearly empty, abandoned for a long period of time. Here he found an abandoned storeroom that was at one time filled with goods, but it all decayed away except for a couple handful of treasures he found and a urn with a wax seal that beats in his hands like a heartbeat. He hasn't investigated that yet. He did run some elves here that he had to fight in this hallway, but they seem to have come from the outside as if they were a patrol that noticed the door was open and came to investigate. But they didn't come from in here. They clearly came from outside. A mausoleum, beautiful, ornate, marble floors, marble walls, ornate statues, glass along the walls, but it had all been shattered. The mausoleum had been pillaged, the bones removed from their tombs. Anyway, so he's down here at this hallway, and he can tell once again it's another place that's not been visited in a long time. There are torch sconces on the wall. Not scones, that would be tasty. Sconces on the wall. Empty, except maybe occasionally one has a burnt out torch in it. There are places where there were tapestries on the wall. The tapestries have since all but tattered and rotten away. As he shines his light up in here, he can see a door up here going to this room. Otherwise, the hallway seems to go down for quite some time. Well, I randomly rolled where Izzek would go at these other places because, just one route is good another. But I don't know about you guys. When I explore a dungeon, doors are always more fun than hallways. Because if there's a door, there's something behind a door. But if you're a hallway, who knows? It's just another hallway. So yeah, I think Izzek will go and check out this door. Let's see. Let's listen at the door. Let's see if Izzek can hear any noise. Listens is still common awareness, I think. An 11, that's just exactly what he needed to pass his awareness check. As he listens at the door, he does hear a strange noise behind this door. Kind of a strange vibrating, clanking sound. I don't know how to spell it. It sounds like it's more, he's a hobgoblin. They're very craftsman-y. It sounds more like kind of machinery. It doesn't sound like a living thing, and it's not super rhythmic. Just every once in a while, there's this clanky metallic sound that hits every once in a while and then stops. I think I'm going to try to sneak and open this door. I'm not going to give myself a bane for the sneak again because I think I'm just opening the door and trying to be very quiet. That's my definition of sneaky. And try to like surprise whatever may be in there. Not trying to draw any attention to himself. I got a sneaking a 6. Oops. 7. Just failed that sneak. That's an agility skill anyway, because I'm out of Bane. Oh, that does remind me. Well, okay. He opens the door. This room appears to be empty, but this room is actually not empty. Well, it's empty of living things. Well, sort of, kind of. I'm being vague, aren't I? I'm being a little vague. This is 7. I've written this down. Let's see. What is 7? This is actually a written down waypoint. See if I can find it here. What is 7? It's not a story room. That's my stories. This is just a written waypoint. 7. Oh, this is the fungal floor. A large blue obelisk rises from the center of the floor. At times it briefly glows with a sickly blue light and makes an ominous noise. The floors and walls of this room are covered in small, clumped mushrooms. They also glow with a sickly blue light. In the back corner of the room rests a workbench. And part of the wall is collapsed. And that's kind of what I have here for it. Actually, I kind of ad-libbed the collapsed wall part, but you can see it here. As he opens this place, there's indeed an obelisk in the center of the room. A blue obelisk, much like what he saw in the watchtower way back in waypoint 2. And once again, this room is filled with mushrooms, again, much like the watchtower in 2. Obviously, there must be a tie. Perhaps these obelisks are growing, harvesting mushrooms, but something appears to have gone wrong in this room. Half of the floor or the room has collapsed. The stone walls have now fallen in, and dirt has poured into this room, covering half the floor. The obelisk, if it's working, it's barely working. It said pulses blue every so often, but then it dies down. Pulses blue every so often and dies down. The mushrooms in here look sickly. Some are dead, but they do cover the walls and the floor, except where this floor is collapsed in. There is a workbench in the corner of the room over here. That's all you can really see. How is Izzek looking? I think maybe I might need to heal up, huh? I think I may be in a bit of trouble here. Where am I at? Yeah, I'm down at half my hit points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Almost half my hit points. And down 5 willpower points. Definitely half my willpower points. I've already done a short rest. I don't think I can do another one. I think I'm going to drink one of those healing potions that the frog people shaman was kind enough to give me. I have 3 of them. Let's see. There's healing potions in here, I think, for sale under gear. I think maybe I'll just treat it like maybe I'll read it here and see what it says, but I think I'll just treat this potion like a short rest potion. I think I'll just do a D6 hit points, D6 willpower, and remove a condition. But let's see. There is a potion here under gear. Right here. Somewhere under medicine. Healing potion. Instantly restores 2d6. Stronger potions heal more, but are more expensive. Yeah, I think instead of 2d6 hit points, I'll do 1d6 hit points, 1d6 will, and then a condition. So I think she's an herbalist of her own making, this shaman. This is homegrown, not from some merchant. All right, let's do it. D6 hit points. 5, wow, that's really great. I'll take that. Let's see here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That leaves me only 1 hit point down. That's pretty good. I think they're starting to get a little bit covered here. Wearing off my sheet. And a D6 willpower points. 1. Okay. 1 willpower point. Fine. You know, as funny as it is, I haven't taken a round rest. I think I will. I haven't taken one. I know it's just a 1 minute rest, but might as well. That way I can heal this additional hit point due to my helmet of eternal health, which allows me to heal 1 hit point on a round rest, and that gives me an additional willpower back, or an additional D6 willpower back. 2, and now it gives me 2 more hit points. So that way I'm only down 2 willpower. Okay, we might as well take that round rest. I hadn't done it. Might as well do it. Okay, round rest, healing potion. A little bit more in shape. I'm going to remove a condition. I'm going to remove this dazed condition that I wish I'd never given myself because it has severely impacted my ability to sneak, climb, avoid traps, do anything. I already got disheartened over here. Next time I'll just give myself a scared or something. How many things do you make willpower rolls on? But when you were in a dungeon trying to evade traps, giving yourself a daze to your agility is not great. Dazed and exhausted are probably the last 2 you should ever choose. Even sickly isn't great, but there isn't a whole lot of con rolls you have to make, except for maybe some monster attacks. Int is bad, I guess, really, because you know you are trying to investigate things. So you know there are a lot of skills that use Int, Myths and Legends being the big one around here, and Beast Lore, you know, those 2 things kind of get used a lot in dungeons. But Strength and Agility, let's not randomly choose those going forward. All right. Okay, so what are we gonna do with this room? Mushrooms, blue obelisk, looks dangerous. Can Izzek identify these mushrooms? You know, he had luck identifying those mushrooms in the tower as nightcaps. These are different. I think I used bushcraft for that, if I remember correctly, being a nature-y sort of thing. It's not a beast lore, more of a bushcraft. I'll try it. What do you know? I succeeded at a bushcraft. Yes, he recognizes these mushrooms as well. Once again, another mushroom commonly used by goblins for various tricks of the trade. He knows their spores are very dangerous and can be disturbed easily. The fact that his floors and walls are covered, you know, he does not want to disturb these mushrooms. Maybe if he approaches it slowly, maybe not much dust will come up, but they are poisonous when disturbed, and make excellent traps and deterrents. How thick are these mushrooms? I'm going to look at my oracle chart here. He knows he does not want to step on these mushrooms and disturb them if he can help it, because it's very dangerous. Let's see. Let me look at my oracle chart. Okay, what do we got here on yes, no's? Yes, no's, numbers, scale, power, quality, reaction. First off, I think I will determine how powerful are these mushrooms. They've been in here being harvested. Have they been altered? I want to take a look at the power level. 6. Incredible. I really don't want to disturb these. Let's see. How numerous are they? Well, I already stated how numerous they are. Yeah. I don't want to disturb these mushrooms. Is there a way around these mushrooms? Can I just approach it really, really stealthily? I'm going to try it. I think I'm just going to move very slowly. I think I'm going to inch along the wall here. This area is uncovered. I think if I can inch along the wall, maybe I can make it to this dirt-covered area safely. And then at that point, maybe be able to inch my way back. I really want to kind of get to this work shelf over here to see if there's any treasure. That's the goal. But I don't want to disturb these mushrooms. Yeah, we're going to try it. I'm going to try to move slowly. Am I lucky? Are the mushrooms over here? There are swatches of dead paths through this mushroom where the mushrooms have died. Can I weave a path through the dead mushrooms without disturbing the living mushrooms? I'm going to ask a yes, no on the oracle on that. But I'm gonna pump it up a little bit. I think only 5 and 6 is going to be yes. I think 1 through 4 are going to be no. 2, no. There's no real safe path that I can walk. I'm just going to have to do it the hard way. But like I said, I'm glad I got rid of that pain to my agility. I guess, could this be considered an acrobatic sort of thing? I'm not really climbing. I don't think so. Acrobatics is very specifically defined when you really are trying to do something acrobatic. I'm not trying to do something acrobatic. I'm trying to be careful and not disturb things. I think we're just going to keep it as an agility check with no longer a bane. Let's just try it. That's a demon. Okay, so no. Izzek disturbs as he's walking along. He's trying to be very careful, but he flat out steps on a bunch of these as he stumbles along in his chainmail armor and disturbs this mushroom. He's gonna have to make an evade. It's gonna be treated like a trap. 3. Okay. So he does disturb some spores, but he's got his great helm of eternal health on, which offers him a little bit of protection. And he leaps away before the mushrooms do any serious harm to him. But the room is clouded in this area over here in a green, noxious gas. He hits this dirt area here. He's able to navigate it pretty well. But this obelisk is behaving oddly. As he gets close to the obelisk, it suddenly lights up again as if it's starting to work one more time. And it makes that loud ka-thunk sound, sort of a strange mechanical sort of way, even though this is a magic device. I want to say this obelisk is also a trap. I think if you approach it, it has a chance to flat out explode, which would be catastrophic. I think I'm going to roll spot hidden on this thing just to see if how Izzek is aware this thing is behaving abnormally enough. He really wants to stay anywhere close to out of the center of the room. Yes, very good. Okay, I rolled a 2 on that. He can tell this thing is throbbing very dangerously as he gets close to it. He backs off quickly and heads to kind of the corner of the room. Instead, he once again tries to inch his way on the wall. He does see a big workshop here that has items on it. He's interested in seeing what's there. But these mushrooms are very dangerous. I'm going to do another situation with the mushrooms, see if I can avoid them. Just a straight agility check. I succeeded that time. Izzek makes it to the table. Yeah, there are numerous items on this table. I think he's going to... Let's make let's do a scavenge roll on it. Let's do it that way. Let's do a good old-fashioned scavenging for loot per our instructions in here. He's not searching the whole room. He's scavenging specifically this table. Let's take a look. D10. D10. Not D20. D10. 4. Nothing of note. Okay, so he searches this table. He doesn't find anything of any value, but there is a book on this table that he picks up to take with him. He opens it up. It is in Ancient Elvish. Well, maybe I'll give him a chance. How about this? I'll roll another d6. On a 6, it will be an Ancient Common, which he can read. Otherwise, it's just going to be in Ancient Elvish, which he can't read. Whoa! Holy cow! I rolled a 6. Okay. It is an Ancient Common, which he does have an ability to read. We'll examine it more as we get out of the room, but I think he's going to try to make his way back. You can tell it here, there used to be a door. This door has been collapsed and pushed in by this dirt. The dirt's pushed it out. He may be able to push his way back, but anyway, he's going to make it back to that dirt floor. He's definitely glad to have this dirt floor over here. He's going to try to make it back. Another agility check. 12. No, his agility is 11. He did not succeed that agility trick. I'm going to try and evade to avoid a dust cloud again. An 11, what is my evade? I think that's exactly what my evade is, right? Yeah, my evade is exactly 11. So he does stir up more of these mushrooms, but is able to evade serious harm. Makes it back to this dirt floor. There's a doorway here. It is half shoved in, shoved out from this wall collapsing. Can he squeak past and get past out through the store through this way? That way he doesn't have to travel back that way. Let's see. I think I'm going to address that yes and Oracle again. I'm just going to ask, can Izzek squeak through this passageway and out into the hallway beyond? D6. 3. That is a no. So unfortunately, it is all buried up through here. Although he can see a gap when he shines his lantern down here. There is a hallway past here. But unfortunately, it's not enough for him to squeeze through. He is unsure whether he wants to spend time trying to dig. I don't think he wants to spend the time. Of course, he isn't really looking forward to going back through these mushrooms either. Yeah, but he's still not going to take the time it would take to dig it down for him to be able to get through this hallway. He doesn't really have a shovel or anything of that nature anyway. Okay, so he's going to go back and once again make a trip on this hallway. I'm going to try to do another athletics check. It's exactly what I needed. It's exactly what his agility is, I should say, not athletics. Athletics doesn't exist in Dragonbane. Agility, so he makes it through, makes it back to this hallway and gets out here. He has discovered a book. He sits down and read it. It is a strange tome. He covers it only briefly. There are pictures inside of it, diagrams. It's explaining a use for mushrooms. It is a mushroom research book. It notates how they've been harvesting these mushrooms for a variety of tasks and purposes. Not only for creating traps, creating poisons, but in there are some pretty theoretical possibilities of altering these poisons to extend their lives. There's also a strange diagram in here of what appears to be autopsies. Pretty disgusting photos. He's going to have to roll maybe a Myths and Legends. What can I use for something kind of strange? Myths and Legends are kind of what we have for unusual things. I think I will roll Myths and Legends. It's our strange arcane knowledge roll. He'll try it. See if he can understand what's going on in this book. 16. He does not. There are diagrams in there of bodies kind of being cut open and mushrooms being inserted, hearts being removed. He does not understand what it means, if it means anything at all. He keeps this book, though. He pockets it. It's an unusual and strange artifact with a lot of mushroom knowledge in it. He goes back down and continues down the hallway, comes to another intersection. Four-way intersection. He can definitely tell to the west here that it opens up into a larger room. These two hallways are too far down for him to shine his lantern down and see much. He's going to stop again just to see if he can hear anything. Once again, these hallways are still abandoned. He's going to try to do a listen. An awareness exactly what he needs. No, you know, it's just sort of the normal sounds of the dungeon around here. This big room here that you can only barely see into is quiet and dark. Yeah, this is a story room. He's going to go in this room. He has to proceed the story. So he does. He hangs over here and enters this next room. This is, let me dig around for it here, the next story room on our list. Let's see, it is the Temple of Silence. It's going to be kind of a big one. This is a story room. And to be honest, the next room, this is not really, the next room is also going to be a big story room. Then we have an unknown room that is optional. Maybe I can climb up here. Known or descriptive waypoint, and then the final boss. We are at the tail end. I think I might save my next video for these two rooms because they're going to be kind of biggies. 2 story rooms in a row. So yes, I think so. Surprising how fast room number 7 went, but I think it went good. I'm trying not to fill every room with combat, trying pretty hard to do traps and skill challenges and other things. So far, so good. Okay, see you in my next video.